Hey everybody, I'm David. Welcome to my channel, My Yard Sale. Hey, I'm posting this post today and not last weekend because last weekend was a little bit crazy, let's just say. It's hard to even explain how last weekend went. I ended up buying some food. I got some food delivered and getting from this room, my bedroom, to the front door and getting the groceries off the front porch, the front door, somehow just wore me out to the point so bad that I could barely walk, I could barely function. And quite frankly, I was wiped out for even a couple days afterwards, which it just didn't make sense. I feel like if I was under a doctor's supervision, they would probably have a better idea of what I was going through, what was happening, but I'm not, so I had to kind of figure it out myself. And what I did figure out was that, well, at least what I believe happened was I have obviously been eating very low carb, low sugar for the better part of maybe even 5 or 6 months, 7 months. Every now and then I do cheat and I get a little bit more sugar in my diet. For the most part, I'm keto. I'm pretty low carb, low sugar, higher protein than probably ever before in my life. Um, so I think that my diet combined with my fasting, combined with berberine that I've been taking for maybe even the better part of a couple of years, even, it all caught up and just wiped me out. I had no, I had no energy. I physically was just tapped. I can't even explain it. But I know that on this channel I had mentioned about I was having a hard time like sitting up in bed, and I live in the Northeast, so I I live underneath like I'm embarrassed to even show you the amount of blankets I have in my bed. It's summertime, and I have an electric blanket. I have a Sherpa blanket that probably weighs like 20 pounds. I have probably 20 pounds of blankets on my bed on top of me at night. So when I wake up in the morning and I want to get up, I'd like to just sit up and get out of bed, but for some reason, for the last like probably month and a half, 2 months, like I couldn't sit up in bed. I had to like weasel my way out of the side of the bed so that I could get out from underneath those covers. And I had mentioned that on this channel before, but it was a strength thing. Even when I go into the bathroom and I'm brushing my teeth or trying to shave my face when I do shave, like I didn't have the strength in my core to like stand upright for more than a couple of minutes. I was losing the strength in my core. So I thought it was weird that I was having all these strength issues. And that's where I did this post on berberine a couple days ago, which I'll link that somewhere. It'll be somewhere up here. I'll link it so you can at least watch what I talked about with berberine. But I'm feeling like this berberine has, well, it's done me great things because it has helped me manage my blood sugars, which I believe that if I had gotten an A1C, HbA1c test a long time ago, I think it would have been ridiculously high. Because I know that I ate so much sugar a long time ago. Now I eat so little sugar. I do still eat some sugar, but I eat so little sugar, and I eat such low carbs, and all that berberine that I was taking, I think it just made my body weak. So I have actually stopped taking berberine. And the more that I'm learning about berberine, I'm a little bit concerned that I even ever mentioned it. And I'm start a little bit concerned about what people say about it and how the benefits are. I think I think the obviously the prescription version of that is metformin, and I think that there's probably more information on metformin just because it's a Pfizer drug, and you've got doctors that support it, and they know a little bit more about what it does and how it works. But some of the things that I'm finding out about berberine is it can definitely make you feel weaker. It makes you weaker somehow. I don't know exactly how that works. But then I looked it up and I found that it could have been part of the problem that I was having with maintaining my body heat. Like I read somewhere that it can make you much hotter when you're hot. It can make you much colder when you're cold. And I don't totally understand that either, but even I stopped taking berberine a couple days ago, and I wasn't taking too much of it. I mean, I was taking the dosage recommendations, which is I feel like pretty low. I was even maybe taking less than what the dosage recommendations were, but I stopped taking it a couple days ago, and I have noticed a difference. Like like as soon as I stopped taking it, I was definitely starving. I was very hungry, and that day that I had all that food delivered, and I was so starving, I ended up eating so much garbage that day that I'm probably going to take a couple days, not fasting, but eating pretty close to keto, very low carb keto, just to get that out of my system. I mean, I ate like so much food that day. I ate like 4 apples that day. I ate I ate a 3 pack of cookies. I just ate some garbage. I ate a lot of sugar. Now I'm actually now I'm actually adding some sugars back into my diet, sugars and carbs back into my diet, and I'm taking the like I said, I'm taking the berberine out of my diet, and I'm hoping that adding some carbs and sugars back to my diet doesn't haunt me. I'm very much hoping. I'm keeping it pretty low carbs and sugars, and maybe I'll add more later down the road. But I feel like adding the sugars back, adding the carbs back, is giving me that strength in my core, so that I can sit up in bed, which is very disturbing when you can't do that. Um, it does feel like I'm regulating my body heat a little bit better. Like at night now, if I'm in bed and I have my electric blanket on, which I know it's crazy. It's like the beginning of summer and I've still got an electric blanket on because it's 40 degrees where I live at night. It's cold. I think it's cold. Um, like I'll wake up 2 hours later after being in bed for a little bit, and I'll be sweltering. I have to wake up and turn my electric blanket off because I'm pretty hot, and that never happened before. I was always just cold all night long. So I think that that's interesting that berberine may have been causing my body temperatures to be a little bit weird. So now I am definitely eating keto. I'm eating a little bit of sugar. I'm eating a little bit of carbs, but I am mostly eating luncheon meats and a little bit of tortillas. Um, but mostly luncheon meats. I probably will start eating. I'll start eating pea protein shakes again at some point, but I just need to get a couple, probably a good 8 or 10 days of just eating mostly carnivore and very low carb keto. Like my favorite thing lately, I love having either ham or turkey, and I kind of roll it up a little bit, and I put it into a tortilla and I cover it with red hot red chili flakes and salt, and I roll it up and I just eat it like that with a carrot. And I'm just really enjoying that. Like even if I wasn't having health problems, I'd probably eat that anyways. I'm really enjoying that. So I did eat some apples. I bought those apples last weekend. Holy moly, I scarfed through those apples. Like the carbs just made me feel so good. I don't know, maybe my body was just after switching off from having just all my sugars drained out of my system because of that berberine. Um, like if my body just felt good eating the carbs, and I'm hoping that this whole gaining my strength back and eating the sugar, eating um, glucose, I'm hoping that this will help my body just kind of start getting revamped again. Like I kept getting those feelings where like it felt like the muscles, the larger muscles groups in my body were feeling like they were growing quite a bit. I'm hoping I feel that again pretty soon, because obviously they're not going to be getting the muscle groups aren't going to be getting starved because of the berberine in my system just shuttling away all the sugars and glucose. Hopefully, so who knows? Maybe this getting off this berberine stuff will be a benefit to me. I don't know. We'll see. But I am trying to keep my carbs and sugars pretty low still. I think that just makes sense. It'd be stupid to just let myself go with eating all the sugars I want without having the protection of the berberine. So we'll see. Anyways, where I live, it's sunny today. Finally, it's been raining for like the last 10 days. It's been stupid raining, and it sucks because there was snow on my in my yard for obviously all winter, and like as soon as the snow's gone, it started raining, and now my yard's like looks like a forest. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to get my yard mowed here soon, which is I guess that's normal. I mean, everybody's got yards. They all mow their yards. It's just difficult for me because I have such a hard time getting around. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. So also, even as soon as I stopped taking that berberine, like my sleep cycle, and I had complained on this channel about how weird it was that my sleep cycle was. I was just sleeping constantly. I was sleeping 10 hours, 12 hours a day. Now it's like I can get up. I still have this weird thing where I want to take a nap during the day, but I'm able to not. Whereas before, I was going to be taking a nap whether I was laying in bed or whether I was sitting in this chair, I was going to be falling asleep. Now I can finally at least go to bed when it's time to go to bed. Now I'm talking about taking naps and going to sleep. Now I'm starting to start yawning, and it's kind of funny. My brain is like thinking about going to sleep now. But it does seem like my sleep cycle seems to be like making a little tiny bit more sense. I go to sleep at night and I wake up in the morning, whereas before I would kind of I would go to sleep, I'd wake up, I'd go to sleep, I'd wake up. I'd have to wake up and go to the bathroom a bunch of times, which I'm not actually doing that quite as much anymore. But the most important thing to me is this whole thing of being able to sit up in bed at night. That was so frustrating. It was like it wasn't scary, but it was a little strange that I couldn't sit up in bed at night. I had to like figure out some other way to get out from underneath all these covers. So I'm happy to start getting some of the core strength in my body back. And I'm still doing quite a few steps during the day using my watch. I track, and I'm trying to keep my steps up to 1,000 plus a day, which I guess I don't know how long that is, like miles or whatever, but I think 2,000 steps is a mile. So I'd like to get up to a mile of at least walking around a day. But right now I'm happy with 1,000 steps a day. Whereas, I mean, geez, like 3 months ago, 300 steps and I'd be worn out. So I don't know. We'll see how this whole thing with cutting down on the berberine and adding a little bit of carbs and sugar back into my diet and trying to eat more normally without having the that berberine like stealing away all my glucose and all my I don't it wasn't stealing away anything, but changing my body metabolism. Hopefully my metabolism will get back to normal where I can eat normal stuff and then get my body back to like so I can use my body again normally, hopefully. If you guys know anything about berberine or have any problems or weaknesses with it, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that below, just to see what people think if they use it or they don't use it. I'm still taking the other supplements that I've taken. I still take magnesium, and I take a couple supplements, and I'm still taking those. But I'm definitely, I think I'm not completely done taking berberine, but I'm not going to be just taking berberine as a daily supplement. And everything that I read about it, it's okay to take it as a daily supplement, but I think in the long term, it's okay if you keep up the sugars in your body. But with me, I was eating very such low carbs, almost no. I'm trying to eat. I mean, I still like to eat some sugars, but I'm eating such low carbs that I don't think that taking even the little amount of berberine that I was taking made a lot of sense. And I think it set me back quite a bit. So who knows? Maybe I'll start making some progress again here shortly. It's very strange because I think it was probably a couple weeks ago I had felt so much better, and I think it was when I was eating the burger patties, but I don't remember exactly. But I had felt so much better physically. I had felt better, but I was still taking all the supplements that I was taking. But back then, I was physically feeling so much better, and I'm hoping that now, making some of the changes that I've made, I'll get back to that physical well-being of just feeling better. I hope that'll happen shortly. So yeah, this last week it was so weird. I ordered a bunch of food. It was a couple bags of food from Walmart. They delivered it to my front door, and I had such difficulty getting to my front door and carrying those bags into my kitchen that I was just like, what the heck? What is going on here? And then I got online and I started looking it up, and I found all this information about just how berberine can negatively affect the body or affect a person. And again, like I said, I don't think that it did me wrong, because when I was eating a lot of sugar, I'm pretty sure it did help me reduce my glucose. I bet if I was to get my A1C tested 2 years ago, I bet you I was like, and I of course don't know, but I would very much think that I was probably in between 8 and 10. And I think that healthy is like at 5. And I'm pretty sure I was in between 8 and 10. And I think that over the period of back then till now, I feel like my A1C is probably I'm probably less than diabetic. Pretty sure I'm not diabetic anymore. I'm not pre-diabetic. I'm pretty sure I'm probably within a normal range, a good range of A1C. So I do feel like that berberine did help me quite a bit, but I think that there was some things that come along with it that I didn't expect, I didn't realize, and negatively impacted me. So we'll see what'll happen over the next I don't know 3 weeks of not taking it at all. We'll see. Anyways, I wanted to drop this post because I missed the post on this weekend, but I wanted to make sure that I updated everybody what was going on, because I feel like the information in this post is probably not relevant to a lot of people, but there's going to be a couple people that are going to really understand what I'm talking about, and are going to take some interest and maybe do a little bit more digging in what they're experiencing, and what they're working with, and it may help them out. Anyways, I hope you're having a great day. Hope you had a great weekend, and hope you have a great week. Thanks. Bye bye.